So, among anime fans, there's this general belief that when in doubt, you give a new show 3 episodes to prove itself before you commit to it or give it up. This is generally a good rule of thumb. I have a list of about 6 anime right now that I'm giving the old 3 episode try. But sometimes there's an anime that right from the start, you know that you're either gonna just love or you need to abandon it immediately. There's only so many anime watching hours in a day, and with more than a dozen new shows each season, you have to prioritize. So, now that I've seen the first episode of nearly everything new this season, here are my 3 anime that everyone should give a shot, and 3 anime you really don't need to bother with, based on, my own personal opinions. Let's start with the positive. First, we have a show that comes with a special consideration. Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju Season 2. This show could very well be my favorite of the season, but it is a second season, so be prepared to catch up on Season 1 if you want to watch it. It's totally worth it, though. Rakugo is a historical drama about a type of one-man Japanese theater called Rakugo that is losing popularity as Japan modernizes. Most of Season 1 was dedicated to flashbacks, learning the backstory of the main character Yakumo, and how he learned the art, and his relationship with his best friend, and so on. Season 2 so far seems to be set firmly post-flashback, focusing on Yakumo's new apprentice, Yataro, and his effort to keep the art form of Rakugo alive. If you like solid, mature drama, this is a great one to watch. It's really good. Next, we have another great show that has a special consideration. Little Witch Academia TV. This is probably the show with the most hype coming into the season, and with good reason. We got a taste of this story with 2 OVAs that are already up on Netflix, and the TV show, which is supposed to have 25 episodes from Studio Trigger, promises a whole lot more. The story follows a young girl, Ako, in her first year at witch school. Think anime Harry Potter with all girls. Here's the catch, though. Netflix has exclusive rights to all North American streaming for the show, and they aren't going to release any of it until they release all of it. So, if you want to watch this show while it's airing, there isn't a legal way to do that right now. And look, I'm of the opinion that whenever possible, anime fans should use legal means to watch their anime, whether Crunchyroll or Funimation, subscription plans, or watching it with ads. So Little Witch Academia is a very frustrating issue right now. Still, if you find a way to watch it, or just wait for Netflix to get their shit together, this is one to watch. The animation is gorgeous, the story is very cute, it's gonna be a whole lot of fun, once we have an easy way to get it. And last but not least for the good list, Acca, A-C-C-A. I had a lot of hope for this show when I mentioned it about a week ago in my 10 shows I'm going to watch list, and it has not disappointed in any way. Not only is Acca one of the most visually different and interesting shows we have this season, but the writing and the plot are really solid so far. Acca follows what is basically the internal affairs department of the National Police Force in this fictional kingdom of Doha, and while the kingdom is really peaceful, there appears to be some political drama afoot. Madhouse has definitely got a winner here so far. Solid writing and setting up the potentially awesome plot are going really well. So check this one out, it's on Crunchyroll. Alright, now on to the bad list. Just as every season has a few gems, there's always going to be some duds. And a lot of this comes down to my personal taste, but here's 3 shows that I have already dropped. 1. Handshakers. Handshakers is about teenagers who have magic, and if they hold hands, they can summon magic weapons called Nimrods, and they fight each other. I had 2 problems with this series. One should already be obvious. The show is not pretty to watch. The CGI overkill just sends this show straight into the uncanny valley of creepy. The characters just don't move right, and it's really distracting from the not great writing. And secondly, okay, look, it's the fan service. I am not inherently opposed to any and all anime boob jiggling, when done with, adult characters, and generally for comedy. Fan service can be okay sometimes. Kobayashi-kun's Dragon Maid has some boob bouncing that is, okay, because Toru is supposed to be an adult. Well, a dragon, but an adult dragon, and it's clearly supposed to be seen as over the top and silly, and it's fun, and it's fine. But this is just, they're high schoolers. These are high school characters. Come on. What the hell? So yeah, one episode of Handshakers was more than enough for me. Next, we have Eld Live. Eld Live is about a boy who hears a voice in his head, and then he has to be a space cop, and his boobtastic teacher is an evil alien, and it turns out that the voice that's in his head is actually a terrifying Digimon-ish monster alien that lives in his chest and gives him magic. Okay, so the main problem here is the plot and the characters are so anime is weird that it is looped back in on itself and caused a rift in the space-time weirdness continuum. I just wanted a cool space adventure. Instead, I got a fever dream leftover of an acid trip, and not in the good fooly-cooly flip-floppers way, just in a weird, confusing way. I don't think this show is bad, so much as it has mediocre writing wrapped in an unfollowable plot. And then we have Seiren. Seiren wasn't even initially on the list of shows I was going to watch this season, but the art looked good, and look, here is what my anime list used to say about the show. A campus romantic comedy. Seiren, which means honest in Japanese, depicts the hero's pure relationship with 3 different heroines. And what I got was this. High school girl fetish porn. This is not pure, guys. Pure is about the last word I would use for this. About 15 seconds into the OP, I started to worry I was going to end up on some kind of government watch list for this. Her butt leaves a heat print on his desk. Why? Why would that happen? I could not get more than 5 minutes into this. I don't even know what happens in the first episode. I had to close the window. And again, I don't think all fan service is inherently bad, but I don't like it on underage characters, and I don't like it when the show acts like allowing the viewer to fantasize about a 14-year-old's panties is more important than plot or decency. I'm not here for it. So yeah, that's it. That's the list. There are a lot of anime still in the gray area for me this season, shows that I might keep watching or I might drop. But these 6, their fates are sealed, for better or for worse. So, thanks for watching this video. What shows are all of y'all watching this season? Let me know, and I'll see you down in the comments. Also, if you enjoyed listening to this millennial queer feminist with a BA in English ramble about stuff I like or don't like, then feel free to subscribe.